This is Natty King, the man from the East, and you're listening to the Real Vibes Radio.
Yo, check this out. This is Anthony Cruz, and you don't know it's the Diaspora Connection featuring Kabbalah for Jamaicans with Joshua. Keep it locked, my man. Blaze it hot. Anthony Cruz.
Will someone talk to me? What have I done wrong? Lately I have had the strangest feeling, and it's piercing through my heart. Oh yes. Since of late I've been wondering why some people wanna tear me apart. Ooh, yes. I try my best to do what a man's supposed to do, yeah. And still it seems so hard to make it through. Well, I got to express from the depth of my mind this way I'm feeling, with answers yet to find. Tell me, what am I doing wrong? Why am I treated this way? Yeah. Talk to me.
Pull it up,
Let's have a conversation.
I Lego this year one, yeah.
Can someone tell me? Will someone talk to me? What have I done wrong? Lately I have had the strangest feeling, and it's piercing through my heart. Oh yes. Since of late I've been wondering why some people wanna tear me apart. Ooh, yes. I try my best to do what a man's supposed to do, yeah. And still it seems so hard to make it through. Well, I got to express from the depth of my mind this way I'm feeling, with answers yet to find. Tell me, what am I doing wrong? Why am I treated this way? Yeah. Talk to me. Let's have a conversation. Hoping I can make right where I'm wrong. One thing I know, when we try to live upright, there's always someone to give you a fight. It's not my choice why the people are looking up to me. It's the light of Jah they see. Still I'm not too big to apologize. If I've been wrong, just make me realize. But tell me, what am I doing wrong to make right where I've been wrong? Please tell me, what am I doing wrong? Why am I treated this way? Oh yeah, talk to me. Let's have a conversation. Let me see if I can make right where I've been wrong. Don't destroy my soul. Don't try to deceive me. Stabbing in my back.
I'm in the forward.
I had the strangest feeling, and it's piercing through my heart.
I'm in the forward.
Late, I've been wondering why some people wanna tear me apart. and cooperate. If we don't unite, then we are all out of place. If you wanna be there at Zion Gate, you say you gotta be there. Don't set things straight. If you wanna be there at Zion Gate, you say you gotta be there. Go set things straight. Don't tell me that you cannot find a way out. Lord, I'm tired to see youths that drop out. Fulfillment time now, what is to be got to be. Don't be afraid to say, oh God, I'm sorry. If you wanna be there at Zion Gate, you say you gotta be there. Don't set things straight. If you wanna be there at Zion Gate, you say you gotta be there. Go set things straight. Set it straight now. I say, ooh la la. With Zion Gate la. Ultimate say, ooh la la. People who are falling, these words will lift you up. That I say to all them, stop drink from dirty cup. I heard the picnic them balling, some get caught in the rush. Mankind who you calling, only Jah can help us. If you wanna be there at Zion Gate, you say you gotta be there. Go set things straight. If you wanna be there at Zion Gate, you say you gotta be there. Go set things straight. Mankind, change your ways now before it's too late. The time is now, just say, don't hesitate. We should all stand up and cooperate. If we don't unite, then we are all out of place. If you wanna be there at Zion Gate, you say you gotta be there. Go set things straight. If you wanna be there at Zion Gate, you say you gotta be there. Go set things straight. Set it straight now. I say, ooh la la. With Zion Gate, Lord. I say, ooh la la. Set it straight now. I say, ooh la la. With Zion Gate, Lord. Ultimate say, ooh la la. If you wanna be there at Zion Gate, you say you gotta be there. Go set things straight. At Zion Gate, you say you gotta be there. Go set things straight.
Haven't I told you, Jah gon' bless us and make us strong. I trust that we'll be there someday to come. I never doubted, I keep the faith all along. Good friend, I'm a servant, that's who I am. You surely deserve all the best there is. And I've got all the love to give. Girl, you want all the care there is. And we are just all that we need.
Matu.
This is for you, my dear. A blessing to show I care. This is for you, my dear. time when my words say I love you. Oh yeah. For the record, your presence was all my preference. Gonna make you glorious in front of all your friends. You only deserve all the love there is. And I get all the love to give. All the care and share there is. And we all got all our lives to live.
Sister Kalonji.
This is for you, my dear. Oh, you know much I care. This is for you, my dear. Oh, you know much I care. I always need you in my arms. I'm not like a sister. Wanna squeeze you out. Nothing I do won't leave you out. Yeah, you know.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome to Diaspora Connection featuring Kabbalah for Jamaicans. My name is Joshua. Welcome to those of you who are listening for the first time, and for those of you who are returning, welcome back. This is episode 121. You've been listening to the I Swear Rhythm. And this is Sizzla Kalonji. Yes, everyone. Thank you for coming back. And for those of you listening for the first time, let me let you know what we do here. We share the ancient Israelite wisdom Moses received on Mount Sinai called the Kabbalah. The Kabbalah is based upon the Old Testament, and its principal text is the Zohar. The Zohar is a compilation of conversations between rabbis, the main one being Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai, and who was a reincarnation of Moses, by the way. Yes, reincarnation is real. And these conversations further reveal the secrets of the Torah. Because the Torah, as we are told, is encoded, completely encoded. Even though you're able to read on the surface and gain great wisdom and ways to live our lives more productively and fulfilling, but it is deeply encoded. And the Zohar helps us to connect to the deeper wisdom. The Zohar can be found online at zohar.com. Zohar.com. ZOHAR. And I have been a student of the Kabbalah Center for the last 16 years. Since 2008. And I tell you, friends, you know, because I was a Bible student, both Old and New Testament, from a very young age, 16 years ago when the Creator brought me to the Kabbalah, it wasn't that difficult for me to grasp because I understood the Old Testament. But like I said, the Zohar helps to uncover the deeper secrets and helps us to connect to the hidden wisdom and the energy of the Zohar. Right? So for those of you who are regular listeners, let me open up the Zoom so that you may join us. And if you don't have the link, you can send me a text. The number here in the studio is country code +1, area code 516 965 5700. Again, country code +1, area code 516 965 5700. I want to give some shout outs tonight. Shout out to Brother Paul Lambert in Spanish Town. Big up to Raquel Marcia and the K4J family. Big up to Nandi. Namdi, I hope you're doing better. Big up to Hyacinba. And big up to Anthony Cruz. Yes. And big up to all of you listeners. Again, the number here in the studio is country code +1 516 965 5700. So last night, we're here every Tuesday and Wednesday night from 9 p.m. to 11 p.m. Eastern. So that would be 8 p.m. to 10 p.m. in Jamaica on World Vibes Radio. So Tuesdays and Wednesdays, and Sunday night we are here from 10:30 p.m. to 11 p.m. Eastern, 9:30 p.m. to 10 p.m. Jamaica, where we broadcast the 30-minute Zohar reading. Okay, Zohar reading that we as Kabbalah students we study, and the Kabbalah Center has a Zohar channel, a Zoom channel that is pretty much 24/7. And if you want to listen to the Zohar spoken in Aramaic and in English, you can connect to this Zoom channel anytime throughout the day, where there are people reading 30-minute segments, of the Zohar. And let me tell you something, friends. Why is it so important to hear the Zohar? It's important to hear the Zohar because the Zohar is written in Aramaic. Aramaic is a derivative, a dialect of Hebrew. The Hebrew language is the most powerful language in the world. Why? Because one, the Zohar tells us that the Creator used the Hebrew letters, the 22 Hebrew letters, to create creation. Everything that was made in the world was made from the 22 Hebrew letters. The Hebrew letters are the DNA of creation. And that is why the people who have this as their natural language are very powerful, influential, and are designed to transmit light force energy. And although many of them who speak it don't understand that, they receive the power anyway. They receive the power anyway. Now we, who do not have that as our natural language, okay, can connect to the energy in the letters through our eyes. Just like there is a barcode reader in a supermarket, and every product that you buy has a unique barcode. All you do is swipe the product over the barcode and it registers. So it is with our eyes, friends. When you come across the Zohar or Hebrew or Aramaic, all you have to do is scan it with your eyes. Just make eye contact from right to left. English is read from left to right. Hebrew is read from right to left. That's a big difference right there. But again, like I said, the shape of the Hebrew letters are uniquely designed to transmit light force energy. So when we scan it with our eyes, when we make that connection, we can connect with the energy. And many of you have called and told us that when you scan the Zohar, you feel goosebumps. And yes, it means that you're connecting to the energy. Having the Zohar with you gives you protection. It allows a force field of energy, of protection, to be around you. Because that is its design. The Creator designed it with that in mind. hoping that mankind would embrace the Hebrew, maintain that connection, and live fulfilled lives. Again, friends, it's all in the language. It's in the Hebrew. Okay? Now, what we do here is we encourage you to change your lifestyle. How? Well, one of them, very simply, just by listening. Just by listening. Listening to what? Well, one, listen to the program. But on Saturdays, okay, on Saturday, which is the true Sabbath, the Sabbath begins Friday evening, sundown, to Saturday evening, sundown. And when we connect to the Torah reading, when we listen to the Torah reading on Saturday mornings, we're able to connect to the energy that will allow us to be successful in the upcoming week. That is the purpose for listening to the Torah. Not because God said and it's a tradition and it's a right thing to do. It's the right thing to do because we are able to connect to energy. Energy forces that will assist us. Listen, friends, everything that the Creator has given us, the laws, the rituals, the statutes, the wisdom, everything that He has given us has been given to us so that we can live more fulfilled lives here. The Creator's intention when He created creation is to give pleasure to His creatures, to His creation. Mankind being the highest. Because everything was made before man appeared on the sixth day. And the Zohar tells us, the Bible doesn't tell us this, but the Zohar tells us, actually, you know what? The Bible, the Old Testament, alludes to this. Alludes to what? Alludes to the fact that before man came on the sixth day, before man appeared, before man was created on the sixth day, everything that was created prior to that was in a suspended animation. Everything that the Creator had created from day 1 to day 5 was in a state of suspended animation, and then came alive when Adam came on the scene. Because the Bible tells us that there was no man to till the soil. There was no dew, right? And because there was no man to till the soil. That is the hint towards this state of suspended animation. The Zohar comes and tells us very clearly what had happened. Right? And said that nothing moved until Adam came. So everything was created for man to enjoy. God gave man the induction to be fruitful, multiply, and replenish the earth. Have dominion over the fish in the sea, skies in the air, everything, right? Have dominion. But what has mankind done? Unfortunately, mankind has fed his evil inclination, has allowed the evil inclination to overtake him, and hence is why you see a lot of evil in the world today. It's our fault, friends. It's our fault that there are so many natural disasters these days. It's our negative actions that cause that. It's our negative actions that causes all the chaos in the world. It's our actions. And man without wisdom is a beast. Let me repeat that. Man without wisdom is a beast. And if a person doesn't have appreciation for the things in life, it's going to be very hard for them to grow and to receive blessings. Okay? Appreciation is key. When a person doesn't appreciate what a person does for them or gives to them, it's a sign that they're not appreciative of the creative force. Because everything around us is a reflection and a representation of the creative force. Everything. And, you know, you've heard it so many times. You know, when we wake up in the morning, be thankful. Because there's so many people who are not waking up in the mornings. There's so many people who cannot see. There's so many people who have lost a limb. There's so many people who have any amount of sicknesses. So we have to really be thankful. Very thankful if we don't have any of those things. Right? Waking up to live another day. Waking up to transform ourselves. Because the only reason we are actually given more days to live is because the Creator has faith in us that we will change our ways and become more righteous. Not necessarily because of what you did yesterday, but your potential for doing something good tomorrow. Remember that. And remember, that which you appreciate appreciates. That which you appreciate increases. Okay? Never forget that. And if you are a person who doesn't feel that they're being appreciated enough, according to the teachings of Kabbalah, it is because you are not appreciating others. Because what we feel is what we've given out. Those are the teachings, my friend. That which you are feeling is what you put out there. It's called karma. And it's called the reflection. The shining mirror. That which we feel, we are the ones that first put that out. So anytime you're feeling a lack of anything, lack of love, lack of appreciation, it's because we are not appreciating those around us. One of the basic teachings of Kabbalah helps us to understand that there is a process called tikkun, T-I-K-K-U-N. And this tikkun process is literally a correction process, because Kabbalah teaches that we're all here in the flesh because we have a correction to make. Based upon our past life, we created certain debts that we are here to repay. We've made a mess of things and we've come back to correct them. Alright? So it behooves us to try and figure that out, because that's the only way we're going to get off the wheel of incarnations. Because until we fulfill our mission, we will continue to come back. So it behooves us to try and understand what our mission is. Connect to a past life so that you can better understand this one and what your mission should be. Okay? This is what the wisdom will do for us. This is what listening to the Torah reading on Shabbat will do for us. This is what listening to the Zohar and teachings of the great sages will do for us. It will help to align us to the energy of the universe. And by being aligned to the energy of the universe, that which we need will come to us. Alright? If we're doing the spiritual work, and the spiritual work is listening to the Torah, not because God said, because it's beneficial to us. Right? The only reason we should do anything is because it's beneficial to us, not because God needs anything. The Creator doesn't need anything. There's nothing we can give Him or her, whatever you want to, God is non-gender. Let me just talk about that for a little bit. God is non-gender. Okay? The reason why it says he a lot is because in the natural, the male is the giver of life. Right? Without the sperm of the man, the woman's egg sits unfertilized. So the male is the one that actually creates life. It's the force. Right? And the female is the vessel. So when it talks about male and female in the Torah, it's actually talking about energies. The male being the giving energy and the female being the receiving energy. Again, these are the things that you will learn when you become a student. You learn these symbolisms so that when you're reading or you hear something, hopefully you'll start to be able to paint a better picture in your mind, better visualizations, better understanding of what's happening. The teachings of Kabbalah are not a religion. Kabbalah is a science. It's a science of the spiritual world. It's the makeup of the spiritual architecture. We learn about the 10 Sfirot, which is the tree of life. If you want to see what that looks like, go to my website. The red geometrical, what looks like a geometrical figure with 10 dots with lines in between them. That is called the tree of life, energetically. Okay? And Kabbalah, the true teachings of Kabbalah are about teaching us how to navigate the tree of life. Last night I spoke about Moses, about let's see, this was in the book of Numbers, the book of Numbers, which is the 4th book of Moses. How one of our students that one second. Right, again, those of you who are listening, the Zoom is open, and if you would like to interact with the program, you may do so. 55700, country code +1 516 965 5700. So, again, listening to the Torah on Saturday, right, and listening to the Zohar readings. This is all we're doing now, is listening. That alone will help us to align our lives to the forces of creation. It will elevate us. It will cause us to vibrate at a higher frequency. Okay? A higher frequency. And by operating at a higher frequency, we'll be able to draw higher things to us. We become a magnet. Right? Because that's how it really should work. Torah readings on Saturday. Torah readings about an hour. From the lecture begins at 11 a.m. Eastern. And it allows us to vibrate at a higher frequency. And again, by vibrating at a higher frequency, we're able to draw higher things to ourselves. So it doesn't take a lot. Again, if a person is extremely busy on a Saturday, maybe they work on a Saturday and they're unable to do it. Hey, again, no one is telling you not to work. And there's no crime on working. However, if you want a change in your life, the way to accomplish that, a good way to accomplish that, not the only way, let me make myself clear, is to start to listen, because the Hebrew language is magical. All right? Very, very, very magical. And it bypasses your intellect. Right? Bypasses your intellect. In fact, some people say it's better if you don't understand Hebrew or Aramaic, because you're going to start to compare. Right? When your intellect doesn't understand, the energy will go directly to your spirit, to your soul, bypassing your mind. And by bypassing your mind, you connect to your soul. And your soul, our soul, is a spark from the Creator. It's an image of the Creator, which is unseen. Many people can't even tell you how to connect to their soul. Yeah. So, this is what it's about, friends. These are tools, practical tools to help you in life. It's not just random knowledge, but tools, effective tools to assist you in your life, to become giants, to improve, to get you out of the mud. To get you out of the mud. So, we're going to, I said last night, right, we spoke about the portion of Vayet Canaan, which is the Torah portion in the book of Deuteronomy, the 5th book of Moses, because we're now in that book. And we read last night on Vayet Canaan, and Vayet Canaan was Deuteronomy chapter 3 to 7. Deuteronomy 3 verse 23 to chapter 7:11 is known as it's a commentary. This particular portion, the 5th book of Moses. Moses is admonishing the children of Israel that have come of age because their forefathers were killed in the wilderness, right? In the desert. They had to die. They had to die out because of the poor report that the 10 spies brought back to Moses when they went to spy out the land of Canaan, or modern day Israel. So 10 of the spies came back with a negative report. Only Joshua and Caleb came back with a good report. And the other 10 spoke negatively about Israel. and cause the people to get spooked. Right? And the Creator vowed that those 10 and the people who were spooked and didn't have certainty in the Creator had to die out. Yeah, had to die out. So again, the Torah is coded, right? But if you read it on the surface, if you only read it on the surface, then you wouldn't get the deeper meaning. And you wouldn't be able to connect to the energy that can help you today. Because if you're just connecting to the story, you're connecting to something that happened 3,400 years ago. But if you sorry, I just lost that thought. Right, so last night was Vayet Kanan, right? So tonight we're going to talk about Ekev, which is the portion that we're going to be reading this coming Shabbat. And as I mentioned last night, the way we prepare for the upcoming Torah reading is we study the Zohar portion for that week. So this week leading up to Saturday, students of Kabbalah are reading, listening to, and studying the Zohar portion of Ekev, so that when Saturday comes, we've built a bigger vessel to contain the light force that comes at us when the Torah is read. Okay. There are people in the Kabbalah Center, not just the Kabbalah Center, but there are people who, Orthodox Jews, I don't know if Orthodox Jews do it, but they won't allow 3 days to pass without them listening to words of Torah. Okay? So the Kabbalah Center does it, of course, Saturday, then on Sunday, and then on Thursday. So 3 days don't pass without them listening to words of Torah. Yeah. So keep that in mind. That's how powerful they understand the Torah to be. Yeah. So tonight we're going to be reading from the portion of Ekev, yes, which, and if you guys, when you guys call in to get the link, you'll be able to listen to it. You'll be able to listen to the entire service if you want. It starts at 10 a.m. Eastern and ends about 2 p.m. But yeah, something for you to consider. If you want a change in your life, this is the way that you can accomplish it. I am telling you this from experience. Alright? So, I'm going to play a tune, and then when I get back, we're going to read from the Torah portion, commentary on the Torah portion, okay? Alright, so here's one of my favorites, Sizzla Kalonji, yes, in the tune Simplicity.
Difficult because the ignorance and I. Simplicity we used to survive. The ones you doing properly, that's the way through life. Simplicity we used to survive. Men find it difficult because the ignorance and I. Simplicity we used to survive. Children, open up your eyes. It's not the one bag of vanity nor the animosity nor the hypocrisy nor democracy. It's nothing, laba laba nor the backstab vampire evil lost desire. It's just a meditation of my heart, pure and conscious thought. Be overstanding on the smart. Listen to the children speak the word and shine the light in the dark, yeah. Simplicity we used to survive. Men who find it difficult because they're ignorant and die. Simplicity me used to survive. Do what you do in proper name. That's the way through life. Simplicity I used to survive. Children, open up your eyes. Simplicity me used to survive. Burn Pharisees and scribes. Yeah. Avoid your anger, not for pause. Praise Rastafari and live a worthy cause. Give us all the blessing, give us all reward to help the poor and find it easy when them find it hard. Simplicity I used to survive, men who find it difficult because they ignorant and die. Simplicity I used to survive, I shall live and love your life. Keep doing what you're doing, don't you grumble. See what you sow is what you reap, so be humble. Know what you're doing, you never stumble. Burn down Rome, I side them crumble. Lead the way with the word that I speak. Never must you stray, praise the King in the east. Oh, I don't you teach, I am not rich. Oh, yeah. Simplicity I used to survive. Men who find it difficult because they're ignorant and all. Simplicity I used to survive. Burn Pharisees and scribes. Simplicity I used to survive. Men who find it difficult because they're ignorant and all. Simplicity I used to survive. Oh, Galante tell you, it's not the one bag of vanity nothing, animosity nothing, hypocrisy nor democracy. It's not them, laba nor them, backstabber nor them, vampire your evil lost desire. It's just a meditation of my heart. It's just a pure and conscious thought. Be overstanding, I tell you to be smart. Listen to the children when they speak and shine the light in the dark. Simplicity I used to survive. Men to find it difficult because they're ignorant and dark. Simplicity I used to survive. Children, live and love your life. Yeah. Oh yeah, burn ya. Simplicity we used to survive. Don't you find it difficult? Yeah.
Yes, Sizzla Kalonji. You know, many of you have heard me say that reggae music is the most spiritual music in the world, because it is the only genre of music outside of gospel, which is Jesus-centric, right, Christian-centric, that speaks so highly of the essence of the Creator and life. I mean, listen to those lyrics, right? Sizzla have a next one named Good Ways. Yeah? And again, Galango get good ways, it will give you length of days. Again, I've said, how can a society that grew up with such music, that live among such music, not be a spiritual society? But unfortunately, we've been misguided, friends. We've been told a bag of lies. So we're here to share the truth. And for those who have an ear to hear, let them hear. Yes? All right. So, we're now going to talk about, we're going to read out of the Kabbalistic Bible. And it has the Hebrew from the Torah scroll in here and the English translation. So I'm going to read some of the commentary that is given to us by the Kabbalah Center. And for those of you who want to, I encourage you to go to Kabbalah.com. That's KABBALAH.com. Kabbalah.com is the website for the Kabbalah Center. And if you're really interested in studying and learning more, I recommend that you frequent that site. You can get a free account, but the free account only gives you access to a limited amount of material. Right? The paid subscription, which is about $50 a month, will give you access to so much more. Classes, right? Lectures. And it will also give you the link to the Shabbat reading through the center. But if you reach out to us, we can give you, because I stream out the Shabbat connection every Saturday, starting at 10 a.m. Eastern and ending at about 2 p.m. Eastern. And I tell you something, friends, ever since, I'm blessed in the sense that I was able to align my life so that I would never miss a Torah reading. In the last 16 years, I would have to say the amount of Torah readings I've missed, I probably can count on one hand. And I began to realize, because I have friends, of course, being somewhere 16 years, I have friends that, okay. Reading a message here from someone. So let me just send a link to someone here because they don't have Facebook, but so that they can connect to Diaspora Connection through World Vibes Radio. Yeah. Let's see. Forgive me 1 second here. All right. Let's see. Let me just get this here. All right. Okay. So Angie, use this link. All right. So like I said, I'm blessed. I've been blessed that I've been able to align my life no matter where I am, right? So if I'm not home, and let's say I have to go on the road, I'm connecting to the connection through my phone, through my mobile phone, and I'm listening to the Torah reading. What matters is when you listen, not where you are. Okay? And for those of you who, let's say you have to work, but for some reason you can have headphones on, put on the Torah reading, listen to it. If you're in your house doing work and you can't necessarily sit by your phone or the laptop where you can see the Hebrew letters, but have it playing in the house, listen. Even if you're listening, not fully, but partially, the energy of the Torah reading is permeating through your house, and it has impact. Okay, trust me, friends, this is how it works. All you have to do is listen, put it on, let the vibration, because it's all about the vibration of the sound hitting your eardrums, even if you're not, focused on listening. But allow the Hebrew letters, the force of the Hebrew letters to be played. And we know that sound waves travel approximately about 2 miles. When you speak, okay, when you speak words, it has impact up to 2 miles. Science has proven this. And that is why there's so much chaos in the world, because of the neglect of people using their words, improper words. The scriptures tell us that the tongue is the most unruly member of the body. Some women would say it's the male organ, the male sex organ, right? But no, the Bible tells us it's the tongue. Is the most unruly member of the body. And it is through the improper use of our tongue why there is so much chaos in the world. So we need to learn how to curb our speech and to speak right. Let good things come out of our mouth. You know, there is a phrase that magicians use, and it is abracadabra. Abracadabra is a Hebrew term that means, as I speak, so shall it be. Now, whether you understand the truth of that or not, it's still true. And that is why, again, there's so much chaos in the world, because people are not careful what comes out of their mouth. And once you speak it, the energy is out there. So one of the first things that you can do to reduce the chaos and to eliminate the chaos in your life is to watch your speech. Watch your speech. Watch what comes out of your mouth. And if any of you are out there that having a skin condition, whether it be on your face or a different part of your body, it's because of your speech. The Zohar tells us this. And the Torah, the Bible, the Old Testament, shows us this in the story of Miriam getting leprosy. Because it said that she spoke against Moses' wife, who was a black woman, a woman from Ethiopia. Right? So speech. Be careful what we say, friends. Be careful what we say. Words is not wind, like some people would like to say. It is not. And you will be held accountable for it. So, let's go into the commentary of this week's portion of Ekev. Alright? So I'm going to read from the Kabbalistic Bible. And as I said, you can get this at the Kabbalah bookstore, or you can actually get it on Amazon too. There are 5 books: Genesis, Exodus, Leviticus, Numbers, and Deuteronomy. Yeah? And it's called Technology for the Soul. This study of Kabbalah is technology for the soul. And by using this technology, we can connect to the essence of our soul, because by connecting to the Creator, by connecting to the creative force, we are actually connecting to our soul. So in the lesson of Ekev, again, which is Deuteronomy chapter 7, verse 12, through chapter 11, verse 25, it says, the chapter of Ekev begins by considering what happens when we are on course in our spiritual work, and what happens when we are not. But before we discuss this, before we discuss what we should do to maintain our spiritual direction, there's a great lesson for us to learn. And they're going to give us a story. It says, consider this story. Long ago, in a small town in Europe, there lived a young butcher. One night, his dead father came to him in a dream. The father said, a woman will come to you on a Friday before Shabbat, and she'll ask you to slaughter a chicken for her. Don't refuse her. You must slaughter the chicken for her. Right? He was what you call a shokel, which is a butcher, a kosher butcher, that knows how to kill an animal the kosher way. Has to use a right blade, a sharp enough blade, not to present any pain to the animal that he's killing or slaughtering, and all the blood must be drained out. Okay, so that's a part of the process of being kosher. So many Fridays came and went, but there was no woman. 70 years passed. Then one Friday before Shabbat, the butcher was on his way to temple when a woman approached him and said, please, I know it's late, but if you don't slaughter this chicken, I won't have anything to eat on Shabbat. The butcher looked at his watch And he shook his head and he says, I'm very sorry. I'd like to help you, but I just don't have time. And he departed. But later that night, in the middle of the Kiddush, now the Kiddush is when, at the end of the service, where they're doing the bread and the wine, the Christians know it as the Eucharist, right? That's where they got it from, by using the wine and the bread, right? It's the Kiddush. The blessing over the bread, over the 2 loaves of bread, and the drinking of the wine is so that we can connect to the energy of the prayers that we just performed. Right? So it says here, in the middle of the Kiddush, he suddenly remembered the dream. Imagine, 70 years passed. But he remembered that the dream that he had so many years earlier, and he wondered how he could slaughter the chicken for the woman he had met. How could he find her? He sprang into action. He told his wife about the woman, instructing her to give the woman food if she ever saw her, because he knew that he himself had missed his chance. Indeed, that very night the butcher left this world. But he had the merit of completing his task through the actions of his family. Okay? Most of us are not so righteous, it says. It's likely that we are here not to complete only a single action that we failed to do in our past life, but often to perform more than one action. But it always is connected to the same principle. There are those who come into this world to give charity in general, and there are those who come because they need to help one particular person. In both cases, however, there's always some particular action or sequence of actions that needs to be completed or corrected. It's all about actions, friends. In fact, in the Tree of Life, okay, remember the 10 Sfirot, and you can go to Kabbalah4Jamaicans.com to see what it looks like, or you can Google Tree of Life, yeah, and you're going to see the geometric shape with the 10 circles with the connections in between them. The lowest level, the 10th level on the Tree of Life, right? There are 10 levels. The 10th level is the world that we live in, known as Malhut. Okay? And the world, the 10th level, is the only place where physicality exists. All the 9 energy levels above it are non-physical. Malhut, this place that we're living in, this world, this earth, that was described in Genesis 1, right? Genesis 1 does not discuss what happened prior to the 10th level, the level of physicality, because that's what Genesis 1, that's where Genesis 1 starts. It starts with the creation of physicality. Yeah, but Kabbalah teaches us that there is so much more. Okay, remember, everything is encoded, and we need the Zohar. We need the assistance of the Zohar to help us to understand. So let me continue. Okay. So it says, of course we don't know what that particular action is. Remember, it said that everybody comes here to either complete one action or a series of actions. But it goes on to say that many of us don't know, most of us don't know what that particular action is that we need to do. Thus it is written, be as careful with a small action of sharing as with a large one. In the story, the butcher had a dream that told him to clearly what he had to do, right? In the end, however, he was able to make his correction through his family. Each of us has dreams of experiences that give us important lessons. It is important for us to be open, not just to receive these messages, but also to act upon them. In our hearts, we know when we are doing wrong or going wrong. We all know that when we are departing from the spiritual, we all know when we're departing from the spiritual path. The problem is that we either are afraid of this knowledge or we don't want to do the necessary work of correction. Because when you correct yourself, you have to take responsibility. You cannot change what you don't take responsibility of. And if a person is continuously denying that they may have issues, then they'll never change. Because you have to first, you have to first acknowledge. It's like Alcoholics Anonymous, right? Those of you know about that, AA. The very first thing that they tell you is that you have to admit that you are an alcoholic. Then you can deal with, yeah. So, all right, let's continue. Okay. It says, if we would open ourselves and listen and not be afraid, then it will be said, the whole world is a thin bridge, and the most important thing is not to be afraid to cross it. Wow. When we don't conquer our fear of knowing what we have to do, according to the Zohar, we will have to come back to this world again and again and again until we finally complete the action. Okay? So there it is again. Reincarnation is a fact, friends. And I encourage you to look into it. I have a book by a lady by the name of Elizabeth Clare Prophet. And it's called Reincarnation, the Missing Link in Christianity. The Missing Link in Christianity. But you want to hear something funny? How I learned about reincarnation is from the Hindus. Right? Because I used to practice Hinduism at one time. Hinduism and Buddhism. But yeah, it's a beautiful thing. Okay, let's continue. It says here, right, don't be afraid to cross it. When we don't conquer our fear of knowing what we have to do, according to the Zohar, we'll have to come back. All right. Ekev, the portion of Ekev, starts with the verse, and it shall come to pass because you hearken. We all at one time or another have disagreements with people. And that's perfectly okay. The problem is that most of the time we don't really hear the other person's point of view. We don't hear it because we don't want to listen. We already think we know all the facts. Okay. And we always think we are right. We think to ourselves, if I listen to what so-and-so has to say, hold on. Right. If we listen to what such and such has to say, maybe he or she will be right. Then I will have to say that I made a mistake. Okay, let's continue. The refusal to listen not only hurts us in our personal relationships, but ultimately blocks our connection to the light. When we cut ourselves off from others, the Creator cuts himself off from us. It is written, God is your shadow. Okay? God is our shadow. Let's see, where are we? Okay. If we move, our shadow also moves with precisely the same speed and direction as our movement. As we act towards others, so God acts towards us. That is a very Kabbalistic concept, okay? As we act towards others, God acts towards us. The Creator cannot give us more than we give others. This is not to say that God is angry with us when we behave selfishly, but our actions in this world are like a boomerang. If we do good, then good comes back to us. On the other hand, if we cause pain, then pain comes back to us. Okay? Cause and effect, friends. Cause and effect. Alright. In one of the letters to Rav Berg, which is our spiritual teacher, the director of the Kabbalah Center, Rav Berg, his teacher, Rav Brandwine, told him this story. One of Rav Emelech's students came to him and said, I've been praying for 15 years, but the Creator hasn't answered my prayers and meditations. I pray 3 times a day. I say the prayer and meditation at midnight. I say the Shema every night before I go to sleep. I do everything I possibly can, but the Creator does not do his part. He has not answered my prayers yet. What do I need to do? Rav Emelech looked at him and said, the Creator did answer your prayers, and the answer was no. Right? When we refuse to help others, then the Creator denies us also. If we say yes to others, then the Creator will say yes to us. Okay? Alright. Let's continue. Okay. Forgive me, I have allergies, so I kind of stuffed up. Alright. Man does not live by bread alone. Deuteronomy chapter 8 verse 3. Very famous phrase. Man does not live by bread alone, but by everything that proceeds out of the mouth of God does man live. When a person takes a piece of bread and says, Blessed are you, Creator, then the inner spiritual energy of the bread is awakened. Just as the physical bread is food for the body, the inner spiritual energy within the bread is food for the soul. The Zohar says the following. Wherefore it shall come to pass, if you hearken to these judgments. This is out of Deuteronomy chapter 7 verse 12. When you have eaten and are replete, in other words satisfied, then you shall bless the Lord your God. Deuteronomy 8 verse 10. We are commanded to bless the Holy One, blessed be He, for everything we eat and drink and enjoy in this world. He who does not bless is considered as having stolen from the Holy One, blessed be He. As it is written, he who robs his father or his mother, Proverbs 28 verse 24. And the friends explain that it applies to the Holy One, blessed be He. The Holy One, blessed be He, is another name for the Creator. Actually, it's a name for a specific section in the tree of life. In other words, the middle section of the tree of life, known as Zer and Pin, is also called the Holy One, blessed be He. Okay? Alright. It continues and says, so he who robs his father or his mother, which is Proverbs 28:24, and the friends explain that it applies to the Holy One, blessed be He. The blessings that a person gives to the Holy One, blessed be He, are meant to draw life from the source of life, which is Binah, to the holy name. To the holy name of the Holy One, blessed be He. And these blessings are to pour on top of him that supernal oil that is the abundance of Chokmah. From there it is then drawn upon the whole world. That's the Zohar, portion Ekev, chapter 1, verse 1. The commentary goes on to say that on this subject, there is a story about a student of Rav Aharon of Karlin. Once, when the student was at the house of Rav Aharon, the teacher took an apple, blessed it, and ate it. The student looked at the teacher eating the apple and a thought crossed his mind. Even the great sage is simply eating an apple. Rav Aharon felt the student's thoughts, and he turned to him and said, "You know, I was thinking to myself, what is the difference between us? I eat an apple and you eat an apple. I bless and you bless. And so what's the big difference?" He says, "I get excited and say, how beautiful are your actions, Creator, the Creator of the universe. The earth is full of your creations." Okay, let's see where we. Okay, the earth is full of your creations, and I do not leave this thought. I go deeper, and I think, what does the Bible mean when it says, quote, "like an apple in the trees of the forest," end quote? Whoa, look what it says here. Okay. All right. It said he was asking himself, what does the Bible mean when it says, "like an apple in the tree of the forest"? And I get so excited that I have a passionate longing to bless and to thank the Creator. Okay. Alright, I get so excited that I have a passionate longing to bless and thank the Creator for the tree and for the apples. And I say, blessed are you, Creator of the world, who created the fruit of the tree. And since we are not allowed to bless without a purpose, right? Or to say the name of the Creator in vain, I take an apple. In other words, the difference between the sage and the student is that, and it's funny because I notice this about myself too. When we are saying a blessing, we're saying a blessing because we're not allowed to say a blessing without the physical act, right? So if I want to eat, if I'm hungry, I'm gonna say the blessing because I want to eat. That's the reason that I'm saying the blessing, because I want to eat. Whereas the sage wants to bless, right? He wants to find a way to bless. And by eating, he can bless. Right? And it says that when you utter the words Baruch atah, you see, in Christianity we're taught to thank God for food. But the Hebrews don't thank God for food. They say, "Blessed are you, Lord God, maker of heaven and earth, who commands us, who gives us fruit of the field, food of the food of the earth, wine to drink, water, right? They're different prayers. But basically what's happening is what's happening is that we need to be vigilant. We need to have a consciousness that this is what we're doing to make things so much more fulfilling. It's we got to get serious, friends, and we have an opportunity. We have a tremendous opportunity ahead of us. Those who have an ear to hear, let them hear. We continue. Okay. All right. It says here. Right. So this is okay. The sage and the student. He says, but you, the teacher went on. You do this little differently. You go out to the street. You see an apple tree, and you think to yourself, "Oh, what a beautiful tree, and what beautiful apples." And then you have a great desire to eat one. But since you are not a thief, you go to the store, buy yourself an apple, go home, and are ready to eat the apple. Still, you have awe for the Creator, and therefore you should think to yourself, can anything be eaten without a blessing? Can anything be eaten without a blessing? It goes on to say, if I eat something today without a blessing and showing appreciation tomorrow, let's see. Okay. Okay. Right. So the difference is between the sage and the student is that when the student wants to eat, he finds something to eat and then he blesses because you're not supposed to, perform the action or perform the action without, you're not allowed to say the blessing without performing the action, right? You're leaving a big hole in the universe. So he says, what's the conclusion of this? It is true that I bless and I eat the apple. This is the sage talking to the student. It is true that I bless and eat the apple. And you also bless and eat the apple. But I eat the apple so that I can say a blessing. And you say a blessing so that you can be able to eat the apple. See the difference? Right. All right. The synopsis of Ekev. The word Ekev means heel. The Kabbalists tell us that all the souls that are reincarnation in our generation today come from the body of Adam. The parts of Adam's body that are left to connect the parts of Adam's body that are left to correct in our generation are his heels and feet. Okay. The heels and the feet of Adam are what are most connected to Malhut, our physical world, which Satan inhabits. And since we are all from the feet of Adam, and since we are all from the feet of Adam, we always have this contact with Satan. Satan is what Christians know as the devil. It says, but Satan also knows that when we elevate spiritually above the feet, we are out of his reach. We are out of the reach of the Satan. So consider that, okay? Remember, the greatest trick the Satan ever played on humanity was to make them believe that he didn't exist. There's a famous quote out of the movie The Usual Suspects with Kevin Spacey and Chaz Palminteri. Alright? The greatest trick the Satan ever played on humanity was to make them believe he did not exist. Now, why is that so profound? Because if you don't know that your enemy exists, right? You've lost the game already. If you don't know that you have an opponent, if you don't know that you are in a war daily, Paul says that we fight not against flesh and blood, but against dominion, spiritual wickedness in high places. Right? So understand that there is a force. The Creator created a force called the evil inclination that is attached to us the moment we are born, and creates havoc for us. But he's our opponent, meaning what? He gives us a worthy opponent. Yeah. So he's not our friend, but he's an advocate, okay? All right, let's continue. Okay. Wow, this is powerful. Right. He knows that if he loses this fight, in other words, Satan knows that when we elevate spiritually above the feet, we're out of his reach. So he's fighting to control over us. He knows that if he loses this fight, he's done for. So the teacher of our teacher being Rod Berg, and his teacher wrote and said, I shall now write to you what I have said to on the chapter of Ekev. Hold on, let's see. Okay. I shall now write to you what I have said on the chapter of Ekev. Ekev means following, as a result of, and also means heel, right? The back of your foot. Wherefore, it shall come to pass if you listen. So he's taking a quote out of Deuteronomy chapter 7, verse 12. Right? It shall come to pass if you listen. Here the Creator is saying, if you listen. Listening is important. He says, if you listen. It relates to what is written in Proverbs 22, verse 4. Right? What follows humility is the awe of the Creator. Alright? What follows, which is Ekev, what follows humility is the awe of the Creator. Because humility is the foundation and the heel of the whole building. Therefore, one who attains humility can hear every precept of the Creator. This is based upon what is written in the Zohar, Kadesh, about a verse in the Bible, which is Song of Solomon, chapter 1, verse 8. Go your way forth, following the footsteps of the rock. Which I can copy the Zohar Kadesh word for word and read paragraph 484. Come and see. Anyone who goes to that world, okay, without knowledge of the secrets of the Torah, even if he has many good deeds, he is still rejected out of all the gates of that world. Go out and see what is written. Quote, tell me. The soul says to the Creator, tell me the secrets of the exalted wisdom of how you shepherd and led in that supernal world. Teach me the secrets of that wisdom that I did not know nor learned, so far as that I will not be embarrassed among these jewels that I came up to be with. Right, I've not reserved it so far. Come and see what is written. If you know not, O fairest among women, the Creator replies to the soul, if you have come here, did I read this already? If you come here and have not examined the wisdom before you came here, and you do not know the secrets of the supernal world, then go your way. You are not fit to come into here without knowledge. Now listen to that. This is the conversation that the Creator is going to have with you if you don't understand things. If you waste your life not seeking to understand words of Torah and the spiritual system, when you die, you will be asked that question. And you will not be given an opportunity to stay. All right. It says, go your way forth, knowing the footsteps of the flock. Namely, you have to be reincarnated for a second time into the world, and you should familiarize yourself with those footsteps of the flock, who are people that are trodden upon by the heel, namely, whom others consider as lowly, yet they know the supernal secrets of their master, and from them you shall learn. Upon this, the verse states, Ve'aha, wherefore it shall come to pass. It is an expression of joy, ekev, which means following, meaning to go out and to follow the footsteps of the flock joyfully. Then you shall attain, you shall listen. All right? So that's the end of the primary commentary. I am going to read some commentary from Ravberg. It says here, turn on the light. Ravberg says, I would like to remind all of us that the key to removing chaos in the world is not by forcing chaos to leave, okay, which is a mistake that has been carried out from generation to generation. Okay. Just as we do not have to understand how the darkness disappears when we turn on the light, all we have to do is flip a switch, and for whatever reason the darkness disappears. Okay. Even if we don't understand the technology of electricity, right? All right. We can use electricity, but we don't necessarily have to understand how it works. We just plug in our appliance and boom, we're done. It says, so too when we are faced with chaos, rather than preparing a strategy of steps 1 to 8 to eliminate it, the wisdom of Kabbalah wanted to make it easier by simply teaching us how to turn on the light. All right. What goes on in a war today? One side goes in and kills a few of the other side, and then the other side goes in and kills a few of the original side. Will anything be resolved? Never. Number one, you can't eliminate or vaporize darkness with guns, which is what we've been trying to understand here. Okay. Okay, you don't eliminate the darkness with a force, because the force just provides Satan more ammunition. All right, saying this is the way it has to be done, meaning with force. Just generates more chaos. So it says here, if you don't eliminate the darkness, excuse me, and number 2, okay, you don't eliminate the darkness with force, but because the force just provides Satan further ammunition. So we need to let go. We need to relinquish control for that moment. Yes? And the Creator will take over. Yeah. Okay. But what the wisdom of Kabbalah is all about is the light. By revealing the light force energy, we automatically remove the chaos from our lives. How does the chaos disappear? It disappears by means of the light. Generally, when we are dealing with a chaotic situation and try to remove the obstacles, by means of the physical level alone, the chaos will never be totally vaporized. Scars are left. So how do we solve the problem? We look at the Creator. We look at what the Creator does to eliminate darkness. He just turns on the light. And you see, friends, this is what this study helps us to do. It helps us to turn on the light. Instead of reacting with negativity, right? If something come at us, you know, if we don't recognize, again, that we are in a battle, right? If we don't recognize it, then we've already lost. But when we begin to recognize that we are in a war, then if you want to win the war, then you have to draw for the proper tools, the proper weapons to win the war. Okay? And the teachings of Kabbalah are those tools, are those weapons that we can use against the dark force, against our own evil inclination. There is a phrase. There is a phrase that says, God won't give you more than you can bear. But what you have to do is, because you might be saying to yourself, well, you know, may have this a burden, a God give me. Well, not necessarily. You could have picked it up on your own. Okay? So we are not to attribute evil to God, because God does not do any evil. God is of infinite force of good only. But the reason why there is evil in the world is because He gives man energy freely, and man turn around and do what he does with it. Okay? Man turns around and does what he does with it. And that's evil. And again, the evil inclination that God gave us. Right? It says sin crouches at the door. What does that mean? It means that every baby, every time life comes into this world, the evil inclination is waiting to attach itself to it, because that is the way the Creator designed it. The Creator Himself created the evil inclination and attached it to man. Okay? Because that's the only way the game can be played properly. That's it. Okay? So Once we understand that this is the game, the nature of the game, then we get the tools to help us. And I'm sorry, there are a lot of different people out there who have a lot of different ways. But I'm following the ways of the Kabbalists and the Kabbalah Center. And that is the truth. And if anyone asks, that is what I will say. That's it, right? Okay. So, I need a little water break. So what I will do is I will play a what tune will I play? You know, here, my brother Luciano.
Roots and culture. I tell the matter if you remember that. That's all I am dealing with. I am. Well, they say I have a messenger to teach you about roots and culture. I tell the matter them if you remember that. That's all I am dealing with. I am. See ya, some man a sing bout how them boss love bout. Then forget that and put them woman up front. There's a time and a place for everything. Whoa. See them a talk about how them fire them gun, and I talk about how them boss Gatling. But I don't have no time to mingle and sing, cause I said I have a messenger to teach you about roots and culture. And tell the mass if you remember that. That's all I am doing with I am. Yeah, just said I have a messenger to teach you about roots and culture. I tell the mass if you remember that. That's all I am doing with I am. You remember how just sent Jonah and Elijah, Moses and Noah, Martin Luther King and Marcus too. Well, they never falter. The man they do them works and they move on. So I know they have been learned. I and I must carry on the words. Wow, just say I have a messenger to teach you about roots and culture. I tell the man if you remember that. That's all I am dealing with. I am. Just say I have a messenger to teach you about roots and culture.
Okay.
I tell the man if you remember that. That's all I am doing with I am. See, I and I don't come up with turn no wood and stone. Well, I and I come up with it, so you better learn. Well, you better love child and live. Give all the love you can give. Prepare to move on, cause this place is not your own. Well, whoa, whoa. Hey, just say I have a messenger to teach you about roots and culture. I tell the man if you remember that. That's all I am doing with I am. Well, just say I have a messenger to teach you about roots and culture. I tell the man if them if you remember that. That's all I am doing with I am. Just say I have a messenger to teach you about roots and culture. I tell the man if you remember that. That's all I am doing with I am. Just say I have a messenger to teach you about roots and culture. I tell the man if you remember that. That's all I am doing with I am. Just say I have a messenger to teach you about roots and
Yes, Luciano, messenger And I feel that is my lyrics. That is me. God sent me here as a messenger. And it's very difficult to balance both. I'm saying, come here free, turn a wood on a stone, right? But we're here, we get married, we raise families, and we have to take care of them. And we have to balance between the two. And sometimes that's a very difficult challenge for some of us. But I know that my purpose here is to teach. Because without wisdom, man is a beast. And look at what it has produced. There needs more people to blow a trumpet in Zion. And to say, wake up, people. We need to change. We need to embrace righteousness. We need to embrace wisdom. And I want to read something out of, the Zohar. It's a different Zohar. It's called the Tikkun HaZohar, right? Which is the Zohar which was written to correct the world of Malhut in its place. In other words, instead of giving wisdom to elevate Malhut to a higher realm, it's wisdom to correct it in its place. And it says, the commentator, and actually it's Rav Berg's teacher, Rav Brandwein, he says that the reason, it says here, he says, listen to me, you who follow righteousness, you who seek the Creator. There are thousands of articles scattered through the Holy Zohar and in other books that unanimously say that the delay of our redemption and all the evil that comes with exile, because we're in exile, and all the neglect that has taken place in this last generation of ours is only because of the lack of study of the hidden wisdom. Okay? Because people are not studying the hidden wisdom. He goes on to say, therefore, you people of valor, you holy nation, strengthen your hands to form holy groups, to raise the banner of the Torah, to hold on to this holy study, through which we can now depart from slavery. Because, friends, we are in bondage. We're in bondage to ignorance and falsehoods. And it is only through studying this wisdom can we get out of the mud. He says we can depart from slavery and come to freedom, from bondage to redemption, and from darkness to the great light, until the verse, for the earth shall be filled with the knowledge of the Creator, like water fills the seas, out of Isaiah 11 verse 9. I may come speedily in our days. Amen. Friends, that's the reason why we have the program here, right? Is to give people an opportunity to listen to wisdom that they haven't heard before. To give them a place where they can find this wisdom. They can learn this wisdom. Because again, I was lucky, I was blessed to come across this wisdom. And I can't keep it to myself. I knew as a young Christian, when I was a Bible student and I was learning and understanding a lot of things, I knew that one day that the Creator would put me in front of Christians to talk to them, to help them to understand that there is something greater, there is something they're missing. Christianity threw out the baby with the bath water. Okay? Judaism was known as the religion of laws, do's and don'ts. And Christianity was known as the religion where you didn't have to live by law anymore, but you had to live by faith in Jesus Christ. Right? Isn't that what they teach? Well, friends, let me tell you something. That is so wrong. Why? Because the world is built upon a framework of cause and effect. Karma. And if you don't follow the laws that are in place, okay, you're going to have trouble. You're going to have chaos. So don't think that you don't need to know the Old Testament. Most Christians don't know the Old Testament well. But I admonish you to learn Kabbalah, because Kabbalah is the secrets of the Old Testament. You don't need to know the Bible that well. I wouldn't suggest that you go and start reading the Bible like that. It's not a bad thing. But start reading the Zohar. Start studying Kabbalah. Listen more to this program. Right? Get as much as you can. Because, friends, the world is going to get much more dread than this. Okay? Much more serious than what you see out there today. And the only way that you'll be able to survive is if you latch on to wisdom. It's the only way. So I want to give you my number again. And for those of you, we're going to be updating our website, and we're going to be putting these, the Zoom link to Shabbat Connection, the Zoom link to the Zohar readings. We're going to be putting it on the website. But if you want to get it, give us a call. Country code +1 516 965 5700. Again, country code +1 516 965 5700. Right? Give us a call. Or you can reach our website, KabbalahForJamaicans.com. That's KABBALAH, the number 4. Right? Jamaicans, JAMAICANS.com. KabbalahForJamaicans.com. Yeah. Again, friends, it's a very, very simple way to start. Just continue to listen. Get the Zoom link so that you can listen to the Shabbat connection on Saturday. Especially so that you can hear the Torah reading. Okay? That's invaluable. Then start listening to the Zohar calls. The Torah reading is Saturday. Yes. The best time to tune in, for those of you who may not have time for the whole thing, the best time to tune in is 11 a.m. Eastern. That would be 10 a.m. in Jamaica. The lecture begins at that time, and then half hour later begins the Torah reading, and it goes for about an hour. The more you listen to, the more of a connection you'll make. The more of a connection you'll make, the more of a transformation, the more energy you'll receive. And with that energy, you'll be able to transform yourself. Okay? We're here every Tuesday and Wednesday night, 9 a.m. to 11 p.m. Eastern, 8 p.m. to 10 p.m. in Jamaica. On Sunday night, we're here at 10:30 p.m. for a half hour only, where we're connecting to the Zohar reading dedicated to Jamaica. And let me tell you about that. If you connect to that Zoom, all you have to do is listen. You can participate by reading because they share the screen, and if you're able to see your screen, you can read the English. But even just by listening, by taking the time to open up a channel, like I said, even if you're not proactively listening, but you have it playing, you are being a channel or a vessel for other people. Because by having it on your mobile phone or your laptop, right, you are being a channel for those around you. And you're making the world a better place, because the words of wisdom is what will make the world a better place. Wisdom, my friends, wisdom, and the wisdom of Kabbalah. I want to thank you all for listening. And we'll see you next week, Sunday, right? 10:30 p.m. Eastern, God willing. And I'll leave you with another Luciano. For all the Rasta them out there, yes? Bless up in yourself. One.